Hey there, fellow soil enthusiasts. Welcome back to Soilsage Chronicles. Today I'm going to share something that completely transformed my understanding of soil building, and it's so simple you'll wonder why nobody talks about it. This ancient technique has been quietly working in forests for millions of years, and once you understand it, you'll never look at fallen leaves the same way again. I stumbled upon this method 3 years ago when I was frustrated with my slow compost bins and impatient to improve my clay-heavy garden beds. What I discovered was a leaf management technique that builds rich, dark humus faster than traditional composting, requires zero turning or maintenance, and mimics exactly what nature does in healthy forest ecosystems. Walk into any old-growth forest and you'll notice something remarkable. There's no bare soil. Instead, you'll find layers upon layers of leaves in various stages of decomposition, creating that rich, spongy forest floor that feels like walking on a natural mattress. This layered system is nature's most efficient soil-building machine, and it's been perfecting this process for eons. The secret lies in understanding that leaves don't just decompose, they create specific microclimates and habitat zones that different soil organisms prefer. When we rake up all our leaves and haul them away, we're essentially stealing the forest's blueprint for building incredible soil. But when we work with this natural system instead of against it, magic happens. In nature, leaves fall and create distinct layers. The top layer provides habitat for larger decomposers like beetles and millipedes. The middle layers become home to fungi and bacteria that break down cellulose and lignin. The bottom layers, pressed against the soil, create the perfect environment for earthworms and other soil-dwelling creatures that transform organic matter into stable humus compounds. Start by collecting different types of leaves from your property or neighborhood. The key insight here is that different leaf types decompose at different rates and provide different benefits. Oak leaves, for instance, are high in tannins and break down slowly, creating long-term soil structure. Maple leaves decompose more quickly and provide readily available nutrients. Pine needles create acidic pockets that certain plants love, while fruit tree leaves often carry beneficial fungi. The magic happens when you layer these different leaf types strategically. Begin with a base layer of slower decomposing leaves like oak or beech about 2 to 3 inches thick. This creates your long-term soil structure foundation. Next, add a layer of faster decomposing leaves like maple, cherry, or ash, another 2 inches. Finally, top with a light layer of smaller leaves or partially composted leaves from last year. The timing of when you apply this leaf system makes all the difference in its effectiveness. I've found that the optimal time is late fall, just after the majority of leaves have fallen, but before winter freeze sets in. This gives the system time to begin the decomposition process while soil organisms are still active. One technique I've developed is what I call feeding the edges. Instead of creating uniform layers across entire beds, I make the leaf layers slightly deeper around the perimeter of established plants and thinner in open areas where I plan to plant in spring. This creates zones of varying decomposition rates and nutrient availability, mimicking the natural variation you'd find in a forest setting. Water management is another crucial aspect most gardeners overlook. After applying your leaf layers, give them a gentle but thorough watering. This activates the microbial communities and begins the decomposition process immediately. Throughout winter, these layers will naturally compress and begin transforming into humus-rich soil amendments. What makes this method so effective isn't just the organic matter, it's the incredible biological activity it generates. When you create these layered leaf systems, you're essentially building luxury condominiums for soil organisms. Each layer provides different food sources, moisture levels, and living conditions that attract specific beneficial creatures. The fungal networks that develop in leaf layers are particularly fascinating. Unlike bacteria that work quickly to decompose simple compounds, fungi specialize in breaking down the complex lignins and celluloses in leaves. These fungal networks also form symbiotic relationships with plant roots, extending their reach for water and nutrients far beyond what the roots could access alone. I've noticed that gardens using this method develop noticeably different soil biology compared to traditionally managed beds. The earthworm populations explode within the first year, creating countless channels that improve drainage and aeration. Beneficial nematodes establish stable populations, helping control pest insects while cycling nutrients. The overall soil food web becomes incredibly robust and self-sustaining. The humus that results from this process is different from compost-derived organic matter. It's more stable, has better water-holding capacity, and provides a slow-release nutrient source that plants can access over multiple growing seasons. This type of humus also improves soil aggregation, making heavy clay soils more workable and helping sandy soils retain moisture and nutrients. One of the beauties of this system is how it evolves throughout the seasons, requiring minimal intervention while providing maximum benefit. During winter, the leaf layers slowly compress and begin decomposing. Snow cover actually helps this process by providing insulation and consistent moisture. Come spring, you'll find that your leaf layers have transformed into a rich, dark material that's partially decomposed but still maintains some structure. This is the perfect time for planting. Simply push aside the leaf matter to create planting holes, then pull it back around your transplants as living mulch. Throughout the growing season, just keep adding fresh leaves as they become available. Fruit tree prunings, spent flowers, and even kitchen scraps can all be tucked right into the existing leaf layers. The established biological community will honestly quickly incorporate these additions into the decomposition process. By the second fall, you'll notice you have two distinct layers working for you: the fresh leaves you add on top and the nearly composted humus layer underneath. This really creates a continuous cycle of soil building that just gets more effective every single year. Let me take a moment to address the concerns that often come up when I share this technique. The most common worry is about pest problems, especially the fear that leaf layers might harbor harmful insects or rodents. But, in my experience, healthy leaf layer systems actually reduce pest problems by supporting beneficial predator populations that keep harmful species in check. Another concern is about leaf diseases carrying over to affect garden plants. While this can be a legitimate issue with certain disease-prone species, the key is diversity. By mixing leaves from many different plants, you dilute any potential disease pressure while building biological diversity that naturally suppresses problems. Some gardeners worry about the aesthetic impact of leaf-covered beds. I understand this concern, especially for front yard gardens. The solution is to use this method in back-of-house areas, vegetable gardens, and around established shrubs where the natural look is more acceptable. You can also use partially decomposed leaves from previous years as a more refined-looking top layer. Wind dispersal can be managed by lightly watering the leaf layers after application or using a few strategically placed stones or branches to anchor the material until it begins to settle and knit together naturally. Once you've mastered the basic layered leaf method, there are several advanced techniques that can supercharge your results. One approach I've been experimenting with is inoculating fresh leaf layers with soil from established forest areas. A handful of forest soil contains millions of specialized decomposer organisms that can dramatically accelerate the humus building process. Another advanced technique involves creating specific leaf combinations for different garden zones. For acid-loving plants, I use more oak leaves and pine needles. For vegetable beds, I emphasize nitrogen-rich leaves from leguminous trees and fast-decomposing species that will release nutrients during the growing season. Temperature management can also be optimized by adjusting layer thickness and composition. Thicker layers provide more insulation for cold-sensitive plants, while, thinner layers allow more soil warming in spring for early-season vegetables. Creating pathways through large, leaf-mulched areas using stepping stones or wood chips maintains the ecosystem integrity while providing access for garden maintenance. These pathways actually become beneficial edges where different decomposition zones meet, often resulting in particularly rich soil development. This ancient leaf technique has, honestly, revolutionized how I build soil in my gardens, and I know it can do the same for you. The beauty lies in its simplicity. You're just working with nature's own proven system, instead of fighting against it. Give this method a try this fall, and I guarantee you'll be amazed by the results come spring. If this article helped you see leaves in a new light, make sure to subscribe to Soilsage Chronicles for more soil-building secrets that actually work. Share this with fellow gardeners who are tired of struggling with poor soil. Together, we can build better gardens from the ground up.